All right, let's go over to Google Stadia because Google Stadia is pivoting pretty harshly right now, and
Pivoting it in the toilet.
Plummeting. Yeah, you're right. It's plummeting very hard.
wow. So this was interesting. I don't want to say people were too surprised. I feel like people were kind of expecting something like this to happen with Stadia eventually because Google tends to try something for a little bit and then move on. But here, this is a statement that was put out. They put it right out on their on like their blog for Google. I think who was it? Phil Harrison that wrote it. Creating best-in-class games from the ground up takes many years and significant investment, and the cost is going up exponentially. Given our focus on building on the proven technology of Stadia, as well as deepening our business partnerships, we've decided that we will not be investing further and bringing exclusive content from our internal development team, SG&E, beyond any near-term planned games. Go on to say that Jade Raymond will be moving on as well.
How do you move on from something that never really got off the ground, though?
I'm amazed because that means, how long was she there for? Was it a year?
Roughly.
So she was there for a year and nothing happened? Like,
not a damn thing.
So I mean,
just got checks were signed, right?
Yeah. For just,
she saw the writing on the wall. She was like, this shit ain't gonna work.
I mean, that doesn't sound bad, though. I mean, you're there for like a year. You're like, all right.
What's the Uncharted lady, Amy...
Amy Henning.
Yeah, Amy Henning has talked about the fact that scenario ends up screwing high up game people over time, though, because the thing is, if they look at your resume and you haven't shipped a game in 5 years, nobody's going to hire. Nobody's going to give you money. So if anything, she's probably bad.
But what about the guy behind Stadia? Like one of the major guys who was also behind Xbox One's release and all that?
Phil Harrison.
Phil Harrison.
Yeah.
Phil Harrison was behind.
That guy's failing upward pretty hard.
Yeah.
He did good on PlayStation up to the PlayStation 3, where he was like, "Look it, we have the 6-axis controller. I'm gonna fly this Warhawk crashes into the ground."
Oh my God, that was great.
This is fun.
That's my favorite E3 ever.
Like, that E3 was legendary.
That E3 was legendary especially for Phil Harrison. Then he jumped ship from Microsoft.
I have Judgment starter pack that comes with the camera and everything.
Oh, yeah, the Eye of Judgment.
By far my favorite E3 ever was that one. Oh, but yeah, so Phil Harrison, I mean, just I don't know what to say, but the inability to launch a platform seems to follow him around.
Was he the guy who was the person that was tweeting like people should be who was the guy at Stadia who was tweeting that creators should pay to create videos?
No, it wasn't him. It was somebody. Yeah. It was like one of the, I forgot, was it a developer or
creative
was it a
director?
Creative director? Yeah, somebody like that.
Everybody involved with that absolutely burned it to the ground.
That's like when you put like the
Guess there wasn't any creative ideas in, huh?
So you put like the couple nails. There was already nails in the coffin. That's when you put the super nail in it, like the big old nail in the coffin. When he said that, I was like, okay, yeah. Now you guys are like super dead. You know.
The interesting thing is they posted that same blog post to the Reddit for Stadia, and they were just blindsided completely by it.
Yeah,
like it was because I mean, think about that. Because they've been advertising up to that point that there's gonna be studios that were gonna create games that were only possible. I mean, that was their big push. Remember in the beginning, we're gonna have 2 studios that are gonna create games that are only possible on this like server side setup, right? That was their whole thing.
Who believed Stadia never took off. Stadia was never a good product. Hopefully they're like one exclusive with Guilt actually comes over to normal platforms now.
Yeah, they have to. They got to get that somewhere.
Did you not know their one biggest claim to fame is that they had one of the best working copies of Cyberpunk 2077?
Okay, so
yeah, it looked like it almost saved them too.
In this blog they put out, they actually reference Cyberpunk as one of the driving forces behind this. I have not.
We have the least broken version of this broken ass game.
Yes, exactly. So they decide, we're much better off as a service as opposed to a platform, but now they still want to act as a platform. And I said for a while they should just act as a utility. And okay, so if you have a game and you want to stream it, but you want the best possible technology to stream it, you just license it or pay Google to basically house it and deliver your game to people through the Chrome browser. Or through, I don't know, maybe Nintendo or Sony or Microsoft, whoever, I don't know, maybe they come up with a way to stream it too. But basically, they just a way to deliver it to people on their phones or their computer. and it just comes up and it's like powered by Stadia or something. You know,
why didn't they do that from the beginning? I don't, and I'm not even gonna sit here and say like I have like like Monday morning quarterback, because what were we all saying beforehand? This is not.
We knew this would fail.
And I told you, I had a rant. I said this is a fraudulent company that's gonna bail on you guys. You guys remember when we said this is a fraudulent company
2 years ago
that's going to bail on you guys. I use that terminology, and look what they're doing. They're fraudulent because they don't care about video games. These guys get tons of money, surplus money to just spend on whatever the hell they want, like Whole Foods or whatever different avenues. And this is one thing that they thought they can slither and snake their way in to try to con gamers, and it just didn't work. But that's what they're trying to do, and they failed spectacularly.
The first line of the Google Stadia reveal, if you go back to the official Google Stadia stage event, the first thing they said is, "I'm not a gamer, but we wanted to get into business." Remember, that was literally the first line they said.
They didn't even hide it.
Why would you say that? Like, just pretend. Like, why would you go like, "Hey guys, I'm here for money,
and
I've got money, and they told me that I could make more money with these games. So here we go, suckers."
I didn't even take it when YouTube was like, "You can have it for free," and I'm like,
I didn't either.
I did. I got one up there sealed just in case. It could be a relic someday.
Hey, now it will be. Now that it's canceled, that's just going to go up. That controller is going to go up.
I feel like they put a bunch of stuff out like that technically failed when they first showed off Stadia. Do you remember that? Because I think they had like Sega's last system, which was the Dreamcast.
Yeah, they had that weird museum out where it was, here's the Dreamcast, here's the Power Glove, here's the Virtual Boy, here's the Museum of Failure, and they're like, we're the next step. You're right. They knew exactly what they were doing. Here's a bunch of failures. We're the next failure for the industry, and we're going to exit the industry faster than Ouya, for Christ's sakes. I think Ouya was available longer than Stadia.
They folded before Amazon, and Amazon put out Crucible.
A game they had to take back. They released a game and unreleased it.
There was a great post I saw that was going around on Twitter. I don't remember where it was, but it was basically from the Google Stadia subreddit. It was a post from like 2 weeks ago that was downvote bomb to hell, and it was called "I'm worried about the silence around Stadia," and all the Stadia fanboys like, "Shut your mouth." It was like,
those people are serious as fuck, man.
What are they going to do when the service is off?
They're becoming aware, though. If you go on like the subreddit now to read like some of the stuff they're saying, one of the things that they posted up was, "Hey, what happens to our games if the service goes away?" They're starting to realize that. They're like, "Wait a minute!
Wait a minute! You've been bamboozled.
I've been bamboozled.
We've been bamboozled here. But wait a minute, we have no way to download our games. Wait a minute."
That had
this could all disappear.
Hold on.
Doesn't this kind of shake some confidence? Now you're looking there like, wait a minute. They just shut down all the first party studios. Wait a minute. Jade Raymond's leaving. Wait a minute. That's Phil Harrison.
Wait, they're at our houses asking for the controllers back. What is going on?
All you got to do is get them mad. It's like, just mention on live, and they just start getting upset. Like, wait, but this is not the same thing.
I'll be honest, I have a screenshot I saved of Nintendo because he kept tweeting like, I love Stadia. I love Don Live too. And I saved those screenshots where it's like, these are not good tweets.
Hey man, shout outs to online.
How the hell could anyone love Stadia?
To the Sega channel.
Like, how could you love Stadia? What was there to love?
If you have really good internet, it works.
You can say
if you have good internet, it works.
You say convenience, like if you're traveling.
It would have been convenient if the games weren't full price and you didn't actually own even a digital. You didn't have any ownership of these things, which is now a big problem. But it was. Who was this product for?
Nate, how else am I supposed to play the latest Assassin's Creed on one type of specific phone that's out there that released? How else am I supposed to enjoy that?
That sounds fun. Assassin's Creed on a phone. That sounds fantastic.
But only one specific phone, right? There's only one specific phone that Stadia worked with, or something. One brand, one phone.
Was it the Google Pixel? You had to play on.
Probably. That'd be funny.
When it started out as like Project Stream, it seemed interesting because it was like, wow, you can stream the games and they're actually pretty good. But then it quickly turned into basically the game system environment without a game system, and it was like, this isn't really where I thought this was going to go, unfortunately. So
did they even get all the features that they hyped up at launch?
It still has no
integration, like the YouTube integration. Like,
no,
type this button and you can jump right into the game with your favorite creator. Like,
I thought there was a game that's on there that the devs for it did say they were doing that. They were streaming it on YouTube and you could get in their game through it. So maybe it was being tested, but
there was something that was being mentioned on the I think it was on the Reddit. They were commenting about it. It was a feature. I want to say it was voice chat that they were trying to get implemented in.
Oh my God. What?
Like, yeah. So they're still working on a lot of different things that they talked about a while ago. So
Wait, do you remember? I think it's been about 8 or 9 months. But no, it was a little bit longer than that. You hit me up on Twitter in DMs and you said, hey, have you seen Final Fantasy 15? It's broken. And you sent me that gameplay clip of you trying to drive the car on Stadia. And it would shoot you out of the ground because it couldn't detect where you're supposed to be. So your car would just fly. Oh my God.
Amazing. So the one thing I've seen people mention, which is really weird to me, and I want to see people's takes on this one. One of the things is, they shut down all their studios now. There are 2 studios, which means it frees up money to get the third-party games in. And in my mind, I was like, no, they shut down studios because they don't want to spend any more money on Stadia.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they're done supporting Stadia. Google is basically wiping their hands saying, we tried, it failed, we're done. And that's good news for anyone else in the industry, because now if you're looking at all these recent acquisitions, now you can kind of narrow it down to Amazon, Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo. You don't have to worry about Google buying a big studio. They're done. They are off to the next failed project of Google++.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen to Stadia, but I mean, it's not going in the right direction.
No, it's finished. They'll probably shut down the servers in the next 18 months.
It's expensive. I mean, it's expensive to hold all that stuff up. So
didn't they already have those servers though for other stuff that they were already doing, like the cloud computing and all that?
Well, I mean, they built a lot of what their custom setup with AMD and all of this. So I mean, it still costs them quite a bit of money.
They should totally, because the tech is cool. The tech is kind of cool, like to be able to even be able to
license it out.
Yeah, license the tech. I think because obviously like people have been complaining about some of the Switch cloud games don't work very well either, so I think it might be better if they can license that tech. I think that'd be cool. It's good as supplemental. If it's a supplemental thing, people don't have a problem, like xCloud, right? Nobody has a problem with that. It's
if Stadia just becomes part of Chrome and there's like a Stadia button at the top, and because it's technically you can do it for free right now, but the thing that's weird for me is that they didn't come up with a strategy for a free-to-play section for Stadia. And I don't know, again, if that's cost or server load or something, but like Fortnite should have been on there day one, and the service should have had a free-to-play mode where it's like streaming 720p or something. And then you would have a ton of active users on your platform that then might buy into the service to get 4K or actually buy games on your service.
Or maybe even like a subscription service, like where you actually get game, like a subscription service where you can play most of the library,
Netflix.
right?
Yeah,
like a Netflix type of thing.
They have like Stadia. It's like their pro sub.
Yeah, but that sucks.
It doesn't have a ton of games on there.
Yeah,
they add some here and there. It's like PlayStation Plus or like games with gold, kind of, where they get like 2 or 3 games a month that get added to it, and then they get cycled out technically if you don't grab them in time. So I think if they had leaned a bit more into the free-to-play section with games, they could have probably built their monthly active users up and then started figuring out ways to monetize further. They could still do that. They could still have a Stadia button in Chrome and do all of that, but Stadia is not going to be producing any first-party games or anything anymore.
I mean, here's an interesting thing with Stadia, and it's only if it plays out this way. Like a title like Guild, it's exclusive to Stadia. From a preservation standpoint, how do we preserve that game?
That's a good question.
We can't.
Yeah, because did Google have that? Hold on, did they pay to have that developed, or was that something that they shopped around and then bought basically and said it's on our stuff now? That's it.
I'm not sure how they had exclusivity rights to it.
Hopefully it's a timed thing, like it's a 1-year thing.
Yeah.
Because some games have come off of Apple Arcade. What's called Oceanhorn came off of there, didn't it?
Yeah, and Oceanhorn 2 is the Apple Arcade exclusive.
So I'm hopeful that Guilt might be a 1-year thing, where it's like, okay, after a year, then you can start, because that actually is a good game. So I would like to see that just go on other platforms as well, just like you said, preservation. But yeah, Stadia.
Real quick, I want to say the top post on the Stadia Reddit right now is "Screw all the negativity. I'm stoked for the future of Stadia." And it's a guy just like writing fan fiction, basically.
Well,
they're excited, man. It's got a great future.
Yeah.
Big thing.
That's about
Big
as
things.
great of a future as the Titanic. Almost lasted as long too.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't want. I mean, hey, there's always GeForce Now. That'll actually let you use your Steam library. Get games that you download. Or there's xCloud that just comes with Game Pass Ultimate that a lot of us just have because we already have Game Pass Ultimate. So there you go.